Good evening, Rabotai. The Gemara in Sechem Brachot says when a person gets up in the morning and washes his hands, he has to say the bracha Vasher Kidishanu V'Sata B'Tzivanu Al Netillat Yadayim. And we know this is a famous mitzvah, the Rabbanan, rabbinic mitzvah. Wash your hands in the morning. We pick up the vessel with the right hand, pass it to the left, and we pour on the right, then we pour on the left, pour on the right, pour on the left, pour on the right, pour on the left, 3 times. And this is how you fulfill the mitzvah after you wash your hands, before you dry. You say the bracha of Netillat Yadayim, and then you dry your hands. This, what the Shulchan Aruch brings, is Siman Dalet. Now, the reason behind this mitzvah, there's a little bit of debate. The Rosh is of the opinion that when a person sleeps, his hands move all over and touch covered in dirty places. So therefore, he cannot go and pray before he washes his hands. So that's why there's a mitzvah. According to him, if a person slept with gloves, or if a person didn't sleep all night, so you don't have to wash your hands, because your hands, you knew it, your hands didn't get dirty. However, the Rashba argues, the Rashba says it's more of a symbolic mitzvah, that we're coming like a new day of service to the temple, like the Kohen. He has to wash his hands every day before he did the new job. So therefore, also, before we come to pray and start a new day of our service of Hashem, we have to wash our hands. According to the Rashba, when you give up your neshama to Shamayim and you come back down, it's a new day, so that's why you have to wash your hands. According to him, if a person didn't go to sleep all night, also, seemingly a person wouldn't have to wash his hands. However, the Zohar says when a person's sleeping, his neshama leaves him, he experiences 1/60th of death. And death also gives tumah. So therefore, when his neshama left him, his body received some tumah. He has to remove it by washing his hands. The Orachot Chaim, he says, no, it's not sleeping, it's the nighttime. The nighttime brings tumah. So the nighttime itself will all make a person's hands tameh, and that's why he has to wash his hands. La halacha, we're strict like all these opinions. Shulchan Aruch says that whenever one of these opinions say you have to wash, we wash our hands. However, you only make a bracha when you fulfill all the opinions. You fulfill all the opinions when you went to sleep, you slept the whole night. But if a person took a nap during the day, when he wakes up, he has to wash his hands without a bracha. If a person went to sleep with gloves, even though according to Rosh, he didn't touch any covered places, you still have to wash in the morning, according to Rashba, without a bracha. Or if a person stayed up all night, didn't go to sleep the whole night, also, because he went through the nighttime, he also has to wash his hands, however, without a bracha. So you see, in each of these situations, you still have to wash without a bracha, but in a case where a person slept all night, that's a case, everyone agrees, you would say a bracha. There was a nice story of the Netziv, Naftali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin, Shalom. He was the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Volozhin. He came, a big, very, very prominent businessman came to him, and he had a complaint. And he said, listen, I have a very good life, I make a lot of money, a lot of people respect me, I'm very well known, but my problem is my wife, she doesn't respect me. Every time I come home, I say up, she says down, I say like this, she says like that. Even the workers in my house, the employees in my house, I tell them to do something, she tells them the opposite, and they listen to her. I am like a 0 when I step into my house. How do I fix this, Rabbi? I have like Gan Eden when I am outside and Gehenom when I'm in my house. He said to him, do you learn Torah? He says, listen, I'm very busy with meetings and contracts and my profits and all this. I barely have time for myself. He says, listen, you have to make sure to make time to learn the Torah in the morning, in the evening, and make sure your wife knows about it. And he says, what is it going to do? He says, trust me. So he goes and he did it, and then he saw that his Shalom Bayit really, really improved. He saw that his wife said, look, my husband goes to learn Torah. Where are you going now? I'm going to learn Torah. Whoa, you're going to learn Torah. He says something in the Shabbat table. She says, shh. Listen to my husband talking. He's saying something with wise. He's saying something chashuv. He's saying Torah now. So everything that he said, she looked at it different because she gave kavod, because the kavod of Torah that he had inside of him. So therefore, a person has to know the number one reason why Hashem sends enemy to us is because Hashem wants our attention. What's the greatest way to give HaKadosh Baruch Hu attention is to learn Torah. And the biggest enemy sometimes, Chas v'Shalom, can be in people of his own house. To remove these enemies, a person has to make sure to study Torah, and all our enemies will turn into our friends. Baruch Adonai Olam.